you could actually tip this economy into recession. So I just want to say, you know what's worse than high inflation and low unemployment? It's high inflation and a recession with millions of people out of work. And I hope you'll reconsider that before you drive this economy off a cliff. I said he was a dangerous man to have in this position.
Jerome Powell, a man the majority of America may be unfamiliar with.
That was the so-called brilliant talking heads who told you we were never going to get out of the bear market. We hold in contempt those who thought Jay Powell was an idiot, either because they were stupid or talking their own book.
You know, it's so uncertain right now. In my view, the least unlikely case is that we do find our way to better balance without a really severe downturn.
Unlike many of these stooges, I actually know Jay, and I recognize that he's a practical, no-nonsense, non-political, get-the-job-done person who doesn't want to throw people out of work and doesn't want to make your money worth less.
But nevertheless, a man who affects every last single one of us who live in America. Jerome Powell, a man who has the power to inflict pain on the economy for the next several years, even if this very well could wreak havoc on the American economy.
This is the point I've been trying to make all along. Jerome Powell has said that all he wants to do is lighten regulations on the banks. I opposed him as chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank precisely for that reason. I said he was a dangerous man to have in this position.
Since early last year, the FOMC has significantly tightened the stance of monetary policy. Today, we took another step by raising our policy interest rate a 1/4 percentage point.
My faith in him helped us to be non-ideological or neutral and kept us from the false dichotomy of soft or hard landing as this year went on, to the point where we think that we could be in for a no landing scenario. No landing at all. Distinct positive. The man isn't piloting an airplane for heaven's sake. He's trying to negotiate an economy that's pumped up by federal stimulus while sagging from higher rates. If you didn't believe in Jay, this train left you thousands of points ago. We did, and we've been rewarded. We still believe in Jay.
The president said he thinks the Fed is the biggest risk to the economy because it's hiking rates too quickly.
Past hour, we've heard from President Donald Trump. He's been very vocal about monetary policy. He's been very vocal about Jerome Powell. He hits on tariffs, trade, and doubled down on his attack on Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
First, an issue for Americans all over the country, feeling the pinch over food prices. The cost of groceries increased nearly 12% in the past year, and prices for fresh produce remain high.
The decisions that have been made and will be made by Jerome Powell could alter America and global markets for the foreseeable future.
I think there's a significant probability that there will be a downturn as well, though, but it's not to me the most likely case.
That's the hard landing scenario.
Or just this, I wasn't even thinking of hard landing. I was thinking of even a recession. To me, it's not the most likely case, but it's certainly possible. And of course, many forecasters do predict that.
It's hard to imagine this is how 2020 started. But across the world, dozens were falling ill with a mysterious virus that would ultimately change life as we know it.
Chinese health authorities are still working to identify the virus behind a pneumonia outbreak in the central city of Wuhan.
At least 59 people are believed to have been sickened by the new virus.
Tonight, U.S. airports on high alert, screening passengers for symptoms of a deadly new virus.
I'm very concerned. Now that you brought it to my attention, I'll stay away from most people wearing masks.
The global pandemic was the first major test for the current Federal Treasury Administration. But this next test could very well define Jerome Powell's career and legacy. This isn't the first time a federal chairman has faced a possible career-defining moment, such as the 70s Paul Volcker, or Alan Greenspan, the man who knew in the 90s, or Bernard Bernanke during the 2008 financial crisis. All these moments were huge to America. Some of the most career-defining moments in monetary history. Mr. Powell is tasked with the tough and almost impossible task of leading America out of high inflation to the desired goal of...
My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. We understand the hardship that high inflation is causing, and we remain strongly committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal. Price stability is the responsibility of the Federal Reserve. Without price stability, the economy doesn't work for anyone. In particular, without price stability, we will not achieve a sustained period of strong labor market conditions that benefit all. Since early last year, the FOMC has significantly tightened the stance of monetary policy. Today, we took another step by raising our policy interest rate a 1/4 percentage point, and we are continuing to reduce our securities holdings at a brisk pace. We've covered a lot of ground, and the full effects of our tightening have yet to be felt. Looking ahead, we will continue to take a data-dependent approach in determining the extent of additional policy firming that may be appropriate.
This next challenge, next act, right or wrong, will be a career-defining move.
In an interview this time with the Wall Street Journal, the president said he thinks the Fed is the biggest risk to the economy. Hiking rates. Even this isn't the first time he said this. This is echoing his recent comments. He said he's unhappy with the Fed because Obama had 0 interest rates. President Trump also took aim at Fed Chair Jay Powell. He said he thought that Powell was a low interest rate guy. The president said every time we do something great, he raises interest
drinks
rates.
On the House phone, everyone. But done to 3 a.m. that has
things are going well.
What I will point out is that in his comments to the journal, they also
every
say
president likes lower rates.
every president likes lower rates. Nobody likes to have higher rates. Despite all of this talk about Powell hands off policy,
it wasn't as if
it's been very recently
Don't
this is something that every
what's the largest
administration
more people
which you knew was going to be this answer.
thrown behind the curve to where
but you're right, it wasn't baiting.
Drinks on the